Joining the discussion now, Mike Murphy, a Republican presidential campaign strategist who worked on the Romney and McCain presidential campaigns. So, Mike, who's right? Lindsey Graham saying that Donald Trump is a kook, he's crazy, he's unfit for office, or this other guy named Lindsey Graham who says no one should ever say that the president is a kook or not fit for office?
Well, Lindsey is my friend, and I'm personally particularly sympathetic to version 1 of those sound bites. But I'll defend Lindsey a bit because you have to look at context. The two guys who were toughest on Trump early and all through the campaign were Lindsey Graham and Jeb Bush. The rest of them were in witness protection. But then they learned the frontal assault didn't really work. And, you know, Lindsey's a sitting U.S. senator, and Trump is a fact of life. So I think part of what's going on, and I'm guessing here, is that Senator Graham, now that Trump is reality, is trying to become an influence on him to keep him away from his own worst instincts, which we know of President Trump can be very, very, very bad. So I think you're seeing kind of a master politician moving around, but with the right intent in a crazy situation.
Yeah, it's a really bad move when you use exactly the same words from one year to the next in the opposite direction. But we all know that Lindsey Graham has said the Republican Party collapses and pretty much has to close up if they don't pass these tax cuts, and that's Lindsey Graham's #1 priority. So people in the business all understand why he's not going to say anything negative about Donald Trump until those tax cuts pass. But he has, as a senator, said negative things about Donald Trump. And Trump, Mike, doesn't Trump have to worry about when, assuming the tax cuts pass, that the Lindsey Grahams are liberated, the Republicans who wanted something out of him really are not looking for anything else out of him at that point, and he becomes much less protected from criticism?
Oh, I think absolutely. It's a shotgun marriage. And when, you know, what I think is going to happen is we're going to enter an incredibly turbulent midterm elections where we're going to have a big national debate about all this. And the Republicans are, and I say as a Republican operative, the leadership vibes I get, particularly in the House, are they're terrified about losing our majority. So the president, I think, is quite capable of deciding to triangulate himself into threatening to run as an independent or something like that and ditching the Republican establishment, who already are extremely nervous about Donald Trump and believe they're down to nothing now but the Republican base because President Trump has chased all the swing voters away. He's, of course, never going to get any of the Democrats. So they look at the Republican base and their point of view. I'm not sure I agree with this. And, well, we didn't get Obamacare repealed, so we damn well better get a tax cut, even if we have to pass the New York City phone book, something, so we can go back in our safe districts and at least argue to the party faithful that there's something, and try to cling to that rock to survive the midterm elections. So that is what has created this, as Lindsey said, this imperative to pass something. But now we're finding out in the last 24 hours how hard it is to get the fiscal hawks in the Republican Party to get on board something that, you know, has more than a few, from a Republican point of view, at least a conservative point of view, as I came up in the party, ideological problems, particularly on the spending side.
Mike, a major American newspaper, in this case the New York Daily News, editorial headline, "The President is a madman." We've never seen that before, and that may be the first of a series of such editorial headlines around the country.
It's astounding to me that we're debating now the mental health of an American president. But if you look at this week, you know, we've alienated our relations with our closest ally are at the worst they've been in 100 years. We've got an American president for the first time, I think, ever disinvited from visiting London. We've had that problem with other countries that he's alienated, not to mention just the juvenile name calling. I mean, I'm to the point where I think his Twitter feed has become a threat to the national interest of the United States. So I'm not qualified to judge, but we are in new territory here. This is a new situation, and this debate is only going to continue, I think, as we enter what will be a political civil war over Donald Trump in the midterm elections.
More Madman editorials to come. Mike Murphy, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Lawrence.